What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you as y'all come in. I am sitting right here in Singapore. That's right here in the middle of a mall. That it is right now about 10:30 at night, I assume. I gotta go knock out my walks, you know what I'm saying? I've decided I'm gonna go ahead and just walk around and put out a little energy so that I can kind of keep myself a little bit there in control of the weight that I know I don't want to lose later on. I want to do this topic here because, I've been coming into Africa for about 7 years. That doesn't count when I was born in Libya. But there's many things I don't know in life. Yet there's a lot of things that I do know in life. One of those things I do understand is that your spiritual being, your mindset, your thought, your how you exude yourself, how do you carry yourself, your behavior has everything to do with your outcome. I know this is not going to be popular with many people, this type of topic, because we are tough people, don't like really to hear we might be standing in an era or cursing our own life. I have watched in these past 7 years being here in Africa, interviewed hundreds of people, talked to thousands of people, and I'm finding out they're cursing their own life. I have watched people die in Africa who I personally knew. I have watched people get divorced in their marriages who I personally knew. I have watched people grow sick. I have watched people lose their minds. I have watched people get scammed. I have watched people be taken advantage of. And I'm telling you all, for those who have an ear, let them hear. I'm telling you all. I'm thankful. I'm very thankful. When I got caught in a headlock by the Most High, who had to sit me down and shut up. That's why I do a lot of talking now. There was years I could not say anything. When I say nothing, not that I couldn't talk, but I could not put out what was being brought into me, what I was being shown to me, because it was for me. It was for my development. It was for my teaching. It was for my being built up from a place to where I was really down. And in my observation of life, observing other people as well as my life, y'all, I'm telling y'all, we curse our own selves. I'm right here in Singapore. They got nothing but India shrines, Buddha temples, Muslim mosques, all around here. Everybody gets along with everybody. But what's so funny is that we've taken terms from different modalities of religions, and we use words like karma, we use words like payback, or we use terms and things like spiritual, and we use things like vibrations and energy. We use all these cliche words and don't even have a clue at times what we're really talking about. I've watched the failures of our brothers and sisters coming into Africa because they brought over dead spirits. I was reading in the scrolls, the ancient writings, the scriptures. Y'all call it a Bible, but it's shown me there is a call for many people to flee from wickedness. Not just your environment or what's within your inner circle, but also what is within you. The scriptures is very easy and simple to understand. Believe that there is this creator that exists and lean on it and have faith in it, trust in it, not in man. And it shall, the Spirit shall guide you into righteousness. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and do a sermon and preach to anybody. What I'm going to do is, because I have a lot of people who reach out to me, who share with me about what I be saying, they kind of like, they agree with it. Whether they're elderly people that are in their 70s and 80s, thanks and shout out to my elders out here, as well as if it's the youth who say, man, there's people, man, who's not even saying, really hearing people saying some of the things I be saying. That's not to brag on me, not by far. What I'm saying is that I have a lot to share with people to try to help and bring people out of their own curse. I've watched them come into Africa. And when I was sitting today, when I heard, and I really went through my memory bank, and I thought about those people who died. I thought about those who've been scammed. I thought about those who lost their marriages. I thought about those who had dysfunctions and hard ways to go. I found they weren't even following the Most High. I found that they brought over a lot of evil spirits or old schools of thoughts and belief systems that came and disrupted their own journey. I watched a video today, 2 videos today. That sister, she popped up on my feed, Kendra G. I guess she's like a Kevin Samuels, whatever. Now, if my memory serves me correctly, I think that I saw her video before, maybe a couple of years ago. I'm getting my walk on, y'all. So, hey, stay with me on this right here. I'm all the way in Singapore, and I'm dropping some gold nuggets from on high that hopefully somebody can grab a hold of this, that stop cursing yourself. Stop cursing your children. This Kendra G, I think that's the name of her channel or whatever. She was interviewing. She interviews guys and women. And I, of course, listen to the women when she's interviewing. These are the ones who are looking for that man. And 2 women who sat there and put out that there's just no good men out here. This is out of their own mouths. There's no good men out here. They're looking for a man who's honest. This is what they said. And come to find out that when she asked the question, when's the last time you were intimate with somebody? One woman said, it was, and she gave the date, and she said, oh, I decided to get myself involved with another woman. But I like men, but it was something that had happened and encountered, and yet, but I'm still all into the men. And I'm like, what? The other woman who claims she's looking for a man, and there's men is always trying to rush to get her into the bed and all that right there. Her ex-husband came on one of the shows, and I know it sounds like one of these reality shows, but this is just real, because he came on and disclosed the lies she told, but come to find out, she sent a video to him of her having a threesome with a woman going down on her. And this is the very same woman. This ain't about women. This is about what I'm about to talk about, the character of how we curse ourselves. This is the same women who were talking about men and wanting to look for the right man. How can you look for the right man and want integrity when you lack it yourself? How do we expect success when we're failing within ourselves with the Most High? I got to tell people this, because my thing is that we're cursing ourselves. Now, what does coming into Africa have anything to do with you cursing yourself? I'm going to tell you why, and it's very important. It's not by chance, coincidence, or accident How many levels does this place have? I keep going down these escalators. It's not by chance, coincidence, or accident that we can leave a land, leave a situation, leave a relationship, leave a job, leave different situations and things in life, and wonder why when we get to the new place, it's probably worse than where we were before. How does that happen? It's because you are the usher of those spirits that you've taken along that caused havoc in your life. We are going to have to get to a place to be honest. You know, I had the conversation with my wife, and hopefully, you know, I'm going to do a video with her. You know, she's a little camera, you know, shy and really don't like to be in front of the camera. But we really, me and my wife, we are friends and we're buddies. I mean, we are married, and, you know, we have some really good conversations. I hit my wife with a question, and I said, I brought up these two women, and she listened to what both had to say. And I told her this right here. I said, what does honesty mean? Because apparently, you know, when you got one woman who lies, and lied, the first three questions came out of her mouth. The woman asked, this is a system we live in. This is why people got to get out of the environment that they're in, out of Babylon, if you call it that, out of the belly of the beast, out of America, or damn Erica, I like to call it, because the spirit is spreading and it's overtaking our people. It's overtaking our children. The mess it's infiltrating many people's beings. This spirit is real, and many people act like it's not. But this young lady sit there and lied, and then when she calls back in after her ex calls to reveal her lies, she can't even admit that she was lying. The questions that was asked to her was that, when did you get divorced? Because the woman who has the channel says you got to be divorced in order to come on her show. And the woman told her that she was divorced and got divorced last June. The ex calls in and discloses the lie that says we're not divorced yet. The woman asked her about how many kids she had, and the woman said 2. Come to find out, she got 3. And then it's like, okay. Then she has this where she's like, okay, Kendra's cam or something, where the woman or the guy or whatever got to stand up in front of the camera because she's trying to hook people up on this dating thing. And the woman gets up there and shows her body, and so then she was like, yeah, you know, this is all natural, this and that. People don't believe him, blah, 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 blah. Well, come to find out, her ex says she had a surgery in the Dominican Republic. That's where they met. Now, the woman was denying, but could not admit the fact she lied. This is the spirit that we see today, that we could lie to ourselves as though that we don't need help. When are we going to grow up and really do a self-assessment, truly, in order for us to tear down the curses that are killing us? Not just killing us spiritually, because many of you all don't understand that the spirit is live and well. But when your spirit ain't well, everything you touch is a headache. It's a struggle. It withers. It never gets anywhere. And you always stay at even keel. How is that? The only thing people want to be successful is money. They don't want to be successful in themselves in honesty, integrity, standing upright, being a person of your word, having a little dignity and self-esteem about oneself. Where has it all gone? It's gone out into the garbage. And then we wonder why we suffer. So these people who's coming to Africa, people who's coming into the Africa, and I'm gonna tell you this right here, because there is a call Many people think it's all just a lie. Oh, he's talking about this so-called creator and, the call for those to flee from out of the place of wickedness. He's lost his mind and all that right there. Okay, you can say I lost my mind. You can say that. Okay, I'll even say, okay, I lost my mind. But you can't take away the fact that when you see that people who's come into Africa who claims they were sent by the Most High, and these people are dropping off like flies, there's got to be something to that. Because the ones that I do know who are walking faithfully, now, I don't know what goes on in any man's house. I do not know that. So you're absolutely right. I know what y'all saying. You don't know what goes on in any man's house. I know that. But I do have a thing that's called discerning of spirits. And that are those who are having a conscious effort into walking upright in the Most High. I see a total different result in them than those who come in with other agendas or backgrounds, beliefs and perceptions and views. And I'm seeing this whole thing unfold. And I'm giving the warning. I'm giving the warning. Africa's a death sentence for some. Now, people could die right in their tracks when it comes to being in America, of course. But let me explain something to you. You could smoke cigarettes. This is coming from for the Most High. This just hit me. You can smoke cigarettes and smoke cigarettes and smoke cigarettes, right? And it appears that it's not even doing you any harm. And you've gone on for years. And all of a sudden, you decide you're going to stop smoking cigarettes. And then all of a sudden, when you stop smoking cigarettes, you become sick. Where are you going with that, Go Black? Think about it. If you're sick in the mind and you think, or spiritual, if you're sick in your spirit and you think you can come to Africa and it's going to change your marriage, it's going to change who you are, and you think you're only that the area, the space, the place is going to change you, instead of you seeking the Most High for the change, you'll become sick. Because you quit, or other words, remove yourself from a toxic situation, but the toxicity was already in place. That when you left to go to another place, you got sicker. Now, some people are going to say, well, hold up, I don't get what you're saying right there. Well, it's in Scripture. Think about this right here. Scripture scrolls, ancient writers say this right here. There was a guy. There was a man who had demons. And he cried unto the Lord, and the Lord removed the demons. The demons went out, right? And it was said to him, don't go sin no more. Sin no more. So the man, he wanders about. And it says that his house was clean. But he went back to, or I ain't gonna say went back to. The demons came back and found that it was an empty house. In other words, there was no change. That it still was conducive for a spirit to dwell within you and house itself. But it says that that demon brought back 7 more. What does that mean, 7 more? You see, when we talk about spirits and all that right there, and some people go like, oh God, this is all this crap stuff, this and that. Think about it. If you smoke cigarettes, drink alcohol, use drugs, have a bad, nasty dispensation and character, if you're a backbiter, if you're out here just laying with anyone, how many things out of each one of those that I named, just one of them, just take one or whatever, does it bring on more than one issue? When you like to be out in the streets sleeping with a lot of women or men, right? What are some things that can happen to you? Well, it depends on who you are, male or female, right? Let's just say you're a female. We know you can catch diseases. You can have a baby. You can have a spiritual tie, meaning that, as they say today, body count, but yet have connected with that person that you had laid with and brought on very different spirits that will ride with you until you can clean them out. This is why many people can't get rid of old love affairs, because there becomes it's called a familiar spirit that attaches itself to you. Many spirits can attach itself to you. So in other words, we sit back and we curse ourselves by the acts that we do, and thinking that we can rid it by removing ourselves into different atmospheres and different relationships. And all you did was carry that same mess over into another relationship, another job, another place, another environment, and all that. You know, I was telling a young man who was trying to, get away from drugs, and how he should just, go the proper way of getting rid of drugs. And he thinks that going into a different place will be best for him. And I said, that's an important step. But that right there is not what's going to keep you from using drugs. It's you. Because guess what? When you go to a new place, and I've seen people do it over and over again, just like myself when I used to have an issue drinking alcohol, when I got stationed into another place, what did I do? I found the people who drink and hang out at bars and clubs. And what did that do? It brought the same spirits in my life. And I found that those people that I drew to who did such a thing, they weren't achieving what it was that I found out later I should be achieving. It wasn't until I changed out my mindset, the people I hung around, the things I was doing. Stop the drinking. Put that down. Now what are you going to put a new spirit towards? But we don't realize we curse ourselves. We're cursing our lives. And we think that it's okay to go tell a lie. Okay, you think, they call it the little white lie, right? Because everything white, they say, is supposed to be pure and innocent. But see, you tell the little white lie, and then what happens? Just like what I was telling you about that young lady. You can turn around and lie that you're divorced. You can turn around and lie and say you only have 2 kids. You can turn around and lie and say all these other things. And yet when you're confronted with the lies, you get mad and upset and act like the person's the problem who you lied to, who's disclosing to you were not forthcoming and right. So now you're delusional, because now you can't even see the difference between right or wrong. But everybody wants to be successful. They want to be successful on their jobs. They want to be successful in their marriages. They want to be successful in their relationship. They want to be successful in everything, but yet they're not successful within themselves with the Most High. Now, I know some of y'all are saying, they'll go black, you're talking about this Most High and all that right there, and I hear all that. Look, let me tell y'all something right here. There is no Most High out here like they have made it out to be, sitting up there cursing you with your life. No, not at all. The curse was written before we even come out of the womb into the world. In other words, when you create something to be perfect and good, anything that falls out of line of it must be dealt with or must suffer the consequences. You can't just expect that the universe was created and there is no universal laws that are within it. You can lie to yourself and you can act like you get over a man. See, you can go ahead and cheat, steal, rob, kill, and nobody will know it. But the universe knows it, because it was created with laws. And what does it do? You talk to any person who murdered and they got away and years later they got caught. They'll tell you how how their life was in misery. They could never sleep, looking over their shoulder, wondering somebody would see them, find them. Nightmares, turn to drugs, alcohol. You see, the universe has order. It already has it. Let's get away from this human being that they've made, that the creator's going to be, and let's look at the universe in its creativity by the being or the power or the source or the energy or whatever you want to say that created this universe has laws. This is why I am very careful in my actions that I do. This is why I told my wife, I said, you know, I travel the world. Me and my wife come together after 3 months, and then, you know, she goes back to her job, and she enjoys what she does and her practice and, you know, being a physician and all that. And I'm like, you know, people's like, man, you know, how, because brothers want to know, man, how are you really abstain from sex when you with your wife? You don't cheat on your wife? I'm like, no. Because I love the Most High greater than my wife. I am accountable to the Most High. The Most High is my judge. I already know if I do such an act. Look, I have an example of my dad. When he did it to my mom, he lost everything. His health, everything. Boom. I'm talking, that man went unemployed. He was on the streets when he left us. I'm like, and I was 17 or 16 years old when that happened. And I told myself I could never do such an act to my children or to my wife. I wasn't at that place of understanding the consequences that happen within these universal laws that we cannot see, figure out, or understand unless you study and understanding that actions that you be. When you become in alignment with the universe, those laws actually bless you. This is where your ideas, your creativity, this is where your woes and your worries go aside. This is where you begin to find the peace, because now you understand you don't get caught up into a world's way of living or thinking, but you go beyond that. You become more connected with the universe. You begin to respect and love that which was created, not the wickedness of the world. Because that's what anything you see man-made and the ways of man and TVs and music and all that, that is the world's. That's the world's. But when we talk about the earth, we talk about the universe, we talk about stars, the moon, the sun, the animals and insects and everything. That was made perfect. And that is for us. But yet, our brothers and sisters, we don't understand that our actions are killing us. And I'm watching it unfold time and time again. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this lightly. And I ain't claim to be any title on my freaking name. I don't claim to be some religious guru or prophet, or I don't even try to give myself those. What I will share is the knowledge that I have gained. And the knowledge that I have gained, I'm telling you all, many are going to suffer until they get their act together. And you can keep doing what you want to do. And as you begin to even fall further in a spiral, just like those two women who claim they're looking for the good man, but yet they slept with two women and can come out and without even shame and say, oh, I just did such an act, you know, and I mean, but I'm all for the men and I'm not that. And don't realize that they have attached a spirit that will walk, that spirit will walk with them to the day they die. I'm telling you all what I had to walk through in my life and study and observe and see and hear, that this is our problem. And many of you all can attest to the fact that when you continue in your own folly, your own ignorance, you get those results back. It is not until one can at least repent. And repent means nothing but one who can recognize the errors of their way and then get back on the right track, walking towards or walking in perfection. Let me say this right here to many of you people, because people, they want to talk about, you're not perfect, you're not perfect. I'm perfect in Christ. Christ, the Spirit of the Most High. I am perfect in that. People are afraid to say that they're perfect. Don't let the world tell you you're not perfect. I'm perfect. I'm perfect in the Spirit. In this flesh, no. I've sinned. I've done horrible things. I used to be all the wicked, evil things that one could say. But while I'm walking in this Spirit, I'm perfect. And you know what? I'm continually going to walk into perfection. We dumb it down. That's why we can never get over the hump, because we dumb it down like, oh, well, you know, I mean, I'm not trying to act like I'm not perfect, or oh, who's perfect? Everybody's, yes, everybody has sinned. Everybody has made mistakes. But we're talking about when you have the Spirit in you, you can walk in perfection now. And stop killing your future, your children, your legacy. Stop killing your... We do more destructive behaviors to ourselves than anybody else on the world. For real, for real. We really do. We destroy ourselves because we live a life of a lie. Now, I know this is hard for some people to chew on, but why not? Why can't we, to include myself, look up at, hold on a second, I gotta look at these signs here. I should be showing you, let me turn the screen right here so y'all can see some of this mall. I know y'all looking behind me, but we should be able to at least do a righteous assessment. A righteous assessment. A righteous assessment means being open, naked, transparent to oneself, and dig in your closet and find the flaws. Who can do that? How many people are even willing to do that? Who can say, I'm jacked up, man, I'm messed up, I don't know what the hell I'm doing? How many people can admit I need help instead of going along with the old lie? I'm a good person. I don't hurt nobody. I don't do anything wrong. When are we going to realize that as soon as we admit our wrongdoings, healing comes? Healing comes. You see, I know many of us have been hurt, not just by ourselves, but even by others. I know that. And we got to forgive and go forward. I didn't say forget. There's a difference between forgive and forget. We got to be able to forgive. Why? Because why am I going to hold a person who did me wrong when I'm wrong? When I understand this wicked world. This is why it's said that to fear the Lord is to hate evil. That's what fear the Lord means, is to hate evil. Because it's the Lord who hates the wicked evil of what it has abound in this earth. Oh, look at over here. This is their little, I don't know, these little games. This over, I'm in Singapore for those who's come in. You know, these little coin games they got. That's the noise y'all hearing in the background. In Singapore. I guess the Asians love these games, or these bears, these little bears or whatever, because they're everywhere in here. Oh, look at this right here. Let me start showing y'all some of these signs around here in Singapore. They said crime is little to almost nil in Singapore. Lift right here is a hotel. In this mall, they have a fitness center. You can see some of the bikes in here and workout stuff. what is this, 5-6 levels here in this mall. And I'm on the 4th floor, but they got basement floors too, B1s and B2s. Let me get back to my talks, but I'm just want to give y'all just, what I love about just traveling the world is get to see all the different ways of how people live. Over here in the Asian world, I mean, with Malaysia, me and my wife left Malaysia. Now we're over here in Singapore. Man, very innovative. They got stuff over here. You see technology and stuff that you like, we don't even got that over there in daggone America. I'm gonna tell you, I gotta do a video on that, man. When they talk about, America's the greatest country in the world, I need somebody to define that. I really do. Define it. In what way is the greatest country in the world? What does that mean? What do they mean by that? But anyway, yeah, this mall is closed right now. They close. One thing they close early in Asia. This is Sunday. Even yesterday, they closed the malls at 9:30 to 10 o'clock. 9:30 to 10 o'clock. Most restaurants are over and done with at 10 o'clock. So they call it a day real early. But anyway, I hope people are understanding what I'm saying, that our cursing our lives, people coming into Africa thinking that they're going to have a new start when they haven't started anew with the Most High or start within themselves. And that curse follows them over. And I've seen it time and time again of people who have lost their lives, lost their marriages, lost their money, being taken advantage of, being used, all because of they curse themselves. I did a video about you don't get scammed, you scam yourself. You don't get taken advantage of. You take advantage of yourself. And it's all predicated upon you as the one who is seeking whatever you're seeking for whatever reason. Now, McDonald's is open, y'all. McDonald's is open. Let's go check out some stuff over here at McDonald's. Just to give y'all a little look at the difference over here. We can see this is you can see McChicken for $5. That's not a US dollars, that's their dollars here, which is about $3.90. Like $3.90 for a meal. If you see those as sandwiches. And then of course, they got the screens that you can come to and you can order off the screens. So if I start an order, say take out, and then it just brings up the menus, then you pay down here, and then they get it. They got some of those already in America all over, these computer things that are going to everywhere. They even got Starbucks that doing the same thing here, because Starbucks, they closed down a lot of them, but they got here these kiosks of Starbucks. Taking away people's jobs. All right, so now I'm back. Okay. Somebody said they just bought something from McD's for $20. 2 meals for $20. Yeah. It says, anybody have any questions from what I said? I typically don't ask from what I say, but just allow it just to, bring light to you. And if it resonates, and it should be a breath of fresh air, especially in this world where we don't hear a lot of real talk into opening us up to really, find the dirt in our life so that we can go ahead and move forward and clean up our act. What country are you now? I'm in Singapore. I'm in Singapore. Let's see here. Let's see what other questions we have. Any other questions? Let me turn the screen around. They got the climb wall here. You can climb the wall. How do you clean your spirit of exes? That is a very good question, Mela. Very good question. You know, I made mention of the word forgive. I know we hold on to a lot of resentment, hate, envy, jealousy that will control us and stick with us. And I know, look, I got an ex, and you know, it took me, I'll be honest with y'all, it took me about 8 years, man, to really get her out of my spirit. And it's because I had the anger, disdain, and the frustration and all of that stuff in me that she took over. I allowed her spirit, or by that memory, that anger, it had took up time and energy from me. You see, when others go about their business and you still stuck where you are, you know, chewing on a bag of rocks because you're upset, mad, envy, jealous, whatever it might be that holds on to you, you gotta let go and say, hey, look, we're not, you know, we took it where we thought it would go. Maybe we didn't start off in the right foot, and I had to admit, for my first marriage, it was my fault. I should have never married her. It was not the Most High's request. I did it out of selfishness. And when I came to understand, I took the responsibility, all of that stuff was relieved. It was relieved of me. And so I then had my time, my mind, my peace back, because I saw that I played the main fault in that marriage, because I should have never, ever married her. And, you know, sometimes owning up to your faults, like I said, will gain you the peace you're looking for. Forgiveness, you know, forgiveness. I mean, how do we expect anybody to do right by us if they have no compass, moral compass, like I like to say is that, no accountability to the greater creator, the Most High, the I am that I am, Elohim. If you don't have that allegiance, the accountability to one greater than you, I'm telling you, why would you expect anybody to do right by you? You're welcome, Ella. You're welcome. So, that is what it is. Anybody else got any other questions? Yeah, we definitely can laugh at our past traumas, Gabriel, because we should learn from our past traumas. Our traumas, really, typically our traumas is self-inflicted. It ain't like it just came up all of a sudden and out of a corner or under the bed and just said, boo. No, it is what we made it to be. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say this to you: the spa-prenurial and training coach. Let me say that you said that I did the same. I married a man who truly wasn't aligned with me. I'm gonna say this, and you might not like it. A woman should align up with the man. The man should align up with the Most High. How is it, think about this, how is it that a woman a man should align up with the woman if he's the one asking her to marry her, to want to bring her into his life. You see, men, we have to understand when we seek a wife, you got to understand, why are you seeking her? You know, I've said this before and people, they don't get it. This was given to me in the spirit. You know, because some people don't understand, well, why is the man the first? You know, why is the man this and that, blah, blah, blah. Well, first and foremost, let's just keep it real, okay? The world, women enjoy the hard labors of men in building this earth. We're the ones who do the back-breaking labor, the heavy lifting, the climbing the high skyscrapers, going underneath the seas, fighting the wars. We're the ones who go out and do the heavy work. We do the brain-dragging work. And yet we need, that's why I said it's not good for man to be alone. It didn't say a woman. You see, a woman can be fine being alone, but not a man. Not a man. It's not good for a man to be alone. And this is why out of him was brought forth a woman and they became one. A woman is in alignment with her man if he is aligned with the Most High. Because if he's inviting her in, men, what is it why you're wanting her to become your other half so that you can become one? That's to be your helper, to help build family, kingdom, business. Our problem is we go seek women, and what we do, I'm not gonna speak for those who are already married. Please, y'all, put your fingers in your ears if you're already married. I ain't talking to y'all, because which way y'all found it to work, you found it to work. I'm saying because we are living in a time, a different age today. The battle is that women are wanting their props. And I don't blame them for wanting their props, because they were guided by those who said, girl, go get your this and go achieve your this. Well, the problem of it is that when you go achieve that, and then a man who you dating, and he is on a different level, because you said aligning up with, you might be doing business in this area and he doing business in that area, and it may clash. You know, I told my wife this right here, and she gets it. She finally gets it. For me, okay, this ain't for everybody. This is for me. My wife has the liberty to do whatever she wants to do without worry or fretting. How is that? Because I give her that liberty. How is that? I don't rely on any of her income. I don't rely on any of her ability to take care of home. That means if she gets pissed off at her job, she can quit, because our house, our household, our kingdom is not relying on her. Right now, like I tell her, the day's coming when I'm gonna tell her, time for you to roll now with me, time for you to roll with me now. But I have the respect. She enjoys what she does, and she only knows America. But I'm saying I'm right now working for her to find her places in this world that she can still do what she enjoys, but then be along with me. I'm in a different place than most people. We've been married. We just had our 8th year anniversary. We're not trying to have family. Kids are grown. We're in a total dispensation or different place than most people I would talk to and give them a total different direction. Like my children, I tell my daughters, you're going to have to line up with the man, because if you don't, guess what's going to happen? He's going to get to a point where I'm talking about a man. You can't call every male a man. And every man that's listening to me, or every male that's listening to me, you should be checking yourself to see, Am I walking in the Creator's wishes or its image, the Creator's image of God that was given me? You got to know if you're walking in the image of. If you're not walking in the image of, that means then, you know what, let me get back on course and walk in the image, because that's the power. That means I am being used as a conduit to display here on earth the power of the Most High. That which is in heaven shall be there on earth. And I am in an ultimate responsibility to exude or to present that power to this world. That is it as a man. And a woman who I want to join in with me to go upon that journey, us as one, we now become the fullness of the Most High. People can't understand when I say that. You'll never experience the fullness of the Most High if you have not connected with the opposite sex. Why? Because that's the oneness. I know that they write he. But we have to understand there is a she. Now, when they say, I'm not talking that the Most High is not flesh. We do know that. But we're talking about a masculine and feminine energy. We're talking about, even in scriptures, it calls the Most High's wisdom a she. Read it all in Proverbs. A she. Think about it. Do you really think when it said in the beginning, let us make man in our image? Who is us and our? Now, some people are going to have, oh, it was the angels, oh, it was Christ there in the beginning. Okay, we understand that, but we're talking about the fullness thereof. So, I hope that helps the sister. Don't look for a man that aligns with you. See how you can align with him. Because the day comes to an end when a man, when he sees that his woman may be usurp the authority that he has, and he feels as though that what has been put in him is not being put to use. So what happens? I see it all the time. So what he does, because he loves you, he takes a back seat. Matter of fact, he becomes basically complacent. He becomes more of insignificant. He'll become more of one who's behind the scenes. And then what happens then? Well, you begin to grow more and more out of your position, which now you become domineering, bossy, mouth almighty, fighting, and it becomes a wedge. And then what happens? Typically, for those women who scream their husbands cheated on them, you're going to find what? What drew him to that next woman? The woman who listened. The woman who was batting the eyes. The woman who was just there. That moment that he would feel he could be heard. That's just the truth of the matter. So, for us men, and the men that are listening, you know, we got to step back into our image. And that was the image of the Most High. And that image is powerful. And I'm telling you all, there's nothing that can stop me except for myself. When I walk in disobedience, when I'm walking into wickedness and evilness, that stops you. And when that stops you, you better sit still, because I'm telling you, judgment is coming. That's why I can say, I'm not trying to play around with my life any longer. I did that when I was in my 20s. I'm going to be walking in the Spirit and let that Spirit guide me and show me. And it's the most magnificent thing that I ever have experienced in my life, because that though that I can recognize, I'll be walking out here in the mall and I see some beautiful woman, and I'm gonna be real with y'all. I can turn around and look at her and all right there. And the first thing the Spirit, oh, so is that what you want to, that's what you want to lust after? You want to leave your wife? You want to go check her out? Go ahead. You want to go over and holler at her. What are you willing to lose? That's real. What are you willing to lose? Because we know there will be a loss in that. Because we know our beautiful women are not going to put up with such behaviors. So what are you willing to lose? And I know my wife, sisters, I know there are sisters out here who think I'm single because they haven't seen my wife and they're new to the channel. I'm going to tell you, I'm a very happily married man. And I'm going to put it out here for my wife that, I told my wife this not too long ago. Because we had some conversations. And, I told her, I said, there's no woman who can touch you. Not one woman can do what you do for me. And I'm gonna be real. My wife felt a certain way. She felt like she was not attracted. I was not attracted to her. I said, babe, why you say that? What are you talking about? Well, I had made a comment about her appearance and she felt a certain type of way. So I'm being transparent with y'all because my marriage has its issues, if you will, and our times that we have to talk or what have you. I'll be real with all of y'all when it comes to me. And she felt that way. And I sat there and I actually shed a tear because I told my wife, I said, look, babe, you're saying I'm not attracted to you. And as I began to talk to her, she started to say that her appeal, her look. I said, babe, I'm gonna be honest with you. Now, women talk about they want an honest man. Babe, I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't marry you for looks. If I was gonna go along with the world say about beauty, I'd give you a 4 or 5. If you're ready for being out, men, listen to what I'm saying, and women listen to what I'm saying, because women always talking about they looking for men who's honest. I gotta be real. But babe, do you know what? It was your spirit that drew me. I fell in love with you with your spirit. Your heart of gold? You think I care about a look? This is why when we got married and everything, my wife is into, fashion and because she's want to look good on the job and her wardrobe and she want, and I'm like, that has nothing to do with me. I'm beyond them looks. I dress like this, I had to understand it, what's in here. And that's what drew me to my wife. And as I said it, and I wanted her to understand, babe, there is not a woman that can touch you, that could do what you do. I don't even care about any other woman. Hands down, you are a 10. Looks fade. And I know many of my brothers that I know, they get afraid when they see their wives gain weight, wrinkle up. What was standing up now droops. And you see these young hottie toddies walking around firmed and chest all poked out, looking all good and everything, if that's what you want to call it. And yet we have the struggles because we got caught in the flesh, and now all of a sudden the exterior don't look good, and what we go through is a flesh desire of an outer appearance that jacks up and curses us in our marriage, and now all of a sudden we fall. No. I told my wife, I am not in love with your looks. It is your heart, your spirit, your kindness I'm in love with. And ain't no woman can get with you on that one. My wife, who understands my role and her role, that's a hard woman to find. But that's a hard woman to find, please. And that's keeping it real, And I want to be real. And that's the only way we can have a transparent relationship and stop cursing ourselves and believing that, all of this exterior stuff means something. Not for me. Like I said, I have eyes and I see. And when I see these young things running around here, you know, and they have them little mini skirts on, and they be having their cleavage all showing out and stuff right there. Because I had walked through that as a young man, I'm thankful. It was my testing ground. I'm not moved by that anymore. I'm not moved by that, because what is it a 15-minute thrill gonna do? What? Now you're looking at a person who's like, what the heck am I here for? Like what? What? I gotta hear your mouth or something, or what? Your demands, or now all of a sudden I gotta, no, I put too much work in my wife. Too much work in my wife. My wife don't like that when I say that either. No, I trained my wife. I did. I said, but you trained me too. I trained you how I am as a man. And you get it and understand it. That's what we need to do. Not only in our relationship, but with ourselves. We must be real and transparent with ourselves. And that's what this whole talk is about. Because we could, you know, what's so funny? These people always talk about, oh God, and Yeshua, and Yahweh, and all this stuff right here. Lying, cheating, like it can't see you. Like it doesn't know your heart. Like it can go run around here and talk all that fake mess, but it's just about as evil and corrupt within inside, and act like that you getting away with something. It is what it is, y'all. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm keeping it real, because you know what? I am enjoying my best life, my best marriage. I'm enjoying my best relationships with those associates and those friends. I'm enjoying. I know how to discern and put away and don't be part of. I know when I see things that I have experienced years ago and I'm like, I don't need to be part of that. No, I know that's draining. I know it sucks me dry. I know it does me no good. I remove myself from it. I ain't got no time for it. I used to be part of that. I'm a grown man now. I don't have time for that. I have been tired of getting beat down, trotted over, cursing my own self, my own future by the stupidity of the flesh. Well, family, it's been an hour. I hope your day is as blessed as mine is. And I hope that you can just go in your bathroom, pull down your car sun visor, slide open the mirror, and look yourself and have a serious conversation. Look yourself in the eye and just find all the dirt in you and say, you got to change. You need to change. Because if I'm expecting excellence in all I do, or the person I'm trying to connect with, I got to be ready. I got to be ready for it. I got to be developed. I must be. How can you want to expect the excellent position, the excellent relationship, the woman, the man? You want the excellent children. You want the excellent treatment. You want the excellent business. And you yourself is only average or unsatisfactory. How does that happen? You are the result. All of those are the result of how you are. Let's just keep it real. I say this right here. Your selection is your reflection. You ain't heard that from nobody else. That came to me. Your reflection, your selection is your reflection. That's why when that old song, The Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson, I played that song for a young man, and that young man called me years later and said, man, that song had been stuck in his spirit because he was a young, lost young man. Tim Bass, I think he might watch my channel every now and then. Tim Bass from Nashville, Tennessee. Lost child. I was doing work for young men's home, and I had him go look in the mirror, and I played that song in my speakers in my barbershop. I had a long line mirror along my wall. It was all full wall mirror. And I said, you stand there and look at yourself and be honest and find the bullshit, because you're cursing your life. 18 years old, already in a boys' home. He contacted me some years later. He said he went in and out of jail. He wound up now getting his act together, got a job, got a child, and he said he's on the track. And he said, he told me, he said, I will never forget when you played Michael Jackson's song, The Man in the Mirror. And that can happen spiritually. So with that, family, thank you for each and every one of you all for coming in. Share the video. Brother don't need no money. I don't need no support by you. I mean, unless the Lord tells you otherwise, but I don't do that. My thing for me on this channel is the message can free a lot of people when we see that there is salvation, Yeshua, in the message. That is what brings us to a better place, a life of living in liberty and freedom. Africa ain't gonna do it. A person's not gonna do it. The drugs, alcohol is not gonna do it. The new job ain't gonna do it. Your fraternity, sorority ain't gonna do it. The lodge ain't gonna do it. The Masons are not gonna do it. But the Spirit of the Almighty, which will illuminate you where the light bulb goes off and you see the truth that reigns within you, that's the salvation the Most High wanted you to acknowledge, you being saved from your own stinking, thinking self and everything outside and around you. So, thank you all for your prayers. Thank you those for the heart of giving and prayers, giving. I appreciate each and every one of you all. Peace and blessings to all. I'm out. This is your man, not your boy, bringing you another gold nugget that you can either pick up or you can just kick it aside. I'm out.